Good afternoon, scholars. Um, I'm trying to get caught up on what I owe you here. Now, this is a video response to the yellow wallpaper and open boat discussion board. I hope you'll look at this, but I know you don't have any real motivation to look at it since most of you have finished TWIS 1 at this point, and this material's on TWIS 1. But I did want to comment on a few things. I just couldn't resist. I was just going to put the grades in, and then I just had to say things. One thing that came up, there was a bit of a debate as to whether the setting of the story is actually an insane asylum or if it's really like a summer home or just sort of a getaway house. And certainly there's evidence both ways, and more so, if nothing else, perhaps it once was used for those purposes, at least the floor or the second floor where our narrator stays, because it does seem kind of odd, some of those descriptions. But there was a debate going on between Anna, Jolene, Marta, and there's not really any definitive concrete answer to some of those questions. But one thing that is for sure, and that's important to keep in mind, is that our narrator is unreliable. And that's an important term. It's an unreliable narrator. She's lost it. So we cannot entirely trust her perspective and the way she presents information and facts to us. And because of that, it makes it difficult. To continue, Marta did an excellent job analyzing the author's techniques for making the narrator's madness apparent. Her disjointed prose, her jumping around, the length of the sentences, things like this all point to the unreliability of our narrator. Brittany Pettit had brought up a really good point about the irony in the story, and there is a lot of irony in the story. And one of Brittany's examples was the "John laughs at me, but one expects that in a marriage." It's kind of ironic to think that that is someone's perception of what a marriage is like. Maybe it's ironic that we don't think that way anymore. I don't know. I don't know how seriously women were taken within marriage, as far as being thinkers, if we think to that poem that you all analyzed by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Oh, you'll be sorry for that. You said that word. I don't know, but that was sort of ironic, and Rachel really hit the nail on the head when she said, how ironic that the narrator has to go crazy in order to think for herself. She has to sort of step out of the expected role completely and sort of give up her own sanity in order to think for herself. And also Rachel made an excellent observation about the name. We don't know our narrator's name, and there's a mention of Jane at the very end. Is that the sister, or is that the narrator herself? There's debate within the field about that, but we certainly know John's name, John. And that was a very good observation on Rachel's part. As for the open boat, one of the most important ideas about this naturalism is the indifference of nature. It's a huge force, but it's indifferent. It is what it is. It's a huge force. It doesn't consider human beings. It doesn't care. So some of you had gotten into the idea of maybe the oceans fighting back or whatever, but it's just this big force of nature that is so much greater than human beings, and it's indifferent. And that was important, and Marta made that point about the indifference of nature. And the quote that Anna referenced from page 348 about a human being sort of getting angry and wants to throw bricks from the temple, but then realizes there is no bricks, there is no temple. That's an important quote in that story, that quotation. And Janae made the point about nature just kind of being itself, and that's the point that I'm making. It's indifferent. It is what it is. It's a big force. It's much bigger than human beings are, and it just is what it is. And for human beings, this was, who originally thought that the earth was the center of the universe, and people were tortured and killed because they dared to say, no, the sun might be the center of the universe. So human beings, who in the story of Adam and Eve, the man is made first and the woman comes second from his rib, and we have dominion over all, so this is the Americans' viewpoint, heavily Judeo-Christian, the Puritan idea of elect, and now you're getting this literature and this point of view where we're just like any other part of nature, and the force of nature is indifferent to us. This was mind-boggling at the time, just, so So that was a pretty significant movement. Those are my remarks. Again, I'll open this discussion board up for your review, and really like Marta's analysis of the yellow wallpaper, and Marta's comments about the open boat and the indifference of nature, and the debate that happened among Jolynn, Anna, and Marta. Those were some good things that I saw. So hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope those essays are going well. I'm looking forward to meeting with all of you this week. And from Keller, I think you just saw my dog maybe walk through. That's one of the 6. From Keller, I'll say goodbye.